I remember your name, but what was your face? Face blindness is difficulty recognizing people based on their faces. It can also make it difficult to recognize facial expressions and what they mean. It seems to be slightly more common in those with ADHD and autism spectrum disorder. I have a bit of a version of this myself. I can recognize people based on their faces, especially when I have context, but more recently I've come to realize that I can't remember faces when I'm not looking at a person. In my imagination, if I were to imagine, say, my daughter's face, it's like I'm looking through a straw at different parts of her face. So I can imagine her hair color, I can imagine her eye color, I can imagine the shape of her nose, the shape of her ear. But when I try to put the entire picture together and recall what her face looks like, it's all distorted and jumbled up. And that happens with almost anyone. It can take me a moment if I see somebody out of context, like a colleague at the grocery store. Likewise, if somebody changes an aspect of their appearance, their haircut, their hair color, putting glasses on, taking glasses off, different glasses, growing a beard, shaving a beard, it'll take me a moment and then suddenly it will snap into reality and I'll recognize who they are. It's actually really unsettling for a moment when I know I should know them, but I just can't put it together. Length of time can also be a factor. If I just saw somebody yesterday, there's a good chance I'm going to recognize them immediately. Even if it's a good friend, if I haven't seen them for 5 years, there is that moment of delay. Just after the pandemic, a friend of mine that I've known for 30 years showed up at my door and she had her hair dyed a different color. I knew she was coming. I couldn't recognize her. There was this moment of, who is this person that just rang my doorbell? And then I saw her husband and I recognized him and then bam, it all just clicked. She wondered why I had a puzzled look on my face for a minute. Face blindness. It isn't just faces. The same thing happens to me with rooms. If I'm sitting in a room and I close my eyes for 2 minutes, continuing to imagine what the room looks like, when I open my eyes back up, the room will not look the way that I imagined. I could tell you all the furniture in my living room, but I could not draw you an accurate picture of it. I couldn't tell you how proportionate things are. I couldn't tell you if a sofa might fit in there. No idea. Probably explains why I've never been able to draw. I don't know the exact mechanism in the brain that causes this, but I'll tell you my experience of it. When I see visual information, I store all of the individual facts from it in like a dehydrated, compressed, powdered format. And then when I try to remember it, it's like I add water to it to rehydrate it, but it never comes out quite the same. Sort of like powdered eggs or powdered potatoes. So next time your neurodivergent friend doesn't recognize you, it might be prosopagnosia. That's face blindness. I hope that helps.